Okay, we'll continue. You see, that's how stress starts, isn't it? Mr. Babajide, you're trying to raise my stress level today, right?
Sorry
right?
for that.
No problem, no problem. Are you stressed right now? Are you fine right now?
I'm not.
You're not fine. You're fine or stressed?
Yes, of course. I'm fine. I'm not stressed.
That's good. That's good. Right. So, can I ask why you're saying you're fine, you're not stressed?
Well, my feel in terms of health condition, I'm okay.
Thank God for that. Yeah.
Everybody have a little concerns in their life. You have things that you want to achieve that you haven't achieved. So those might be the little concerns that might not make that that statement a complete true statement.
Right. That's valid. That's valid. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We're struggling to, one of the key things is some of the times we struggle to accept that at some point there are difficulties, there are challenges that we can't. I'm still getting reception. Is that yours, Mr. Babajide?
No, not mine.
Right. Right. So. Right. Cool. Some of the other time, going back to the slide, you think the person that you're asking the question isn't really interested. That's one of the reasons why we say we're fine, right? So I'm just going to take you slightly back to a project site. You've had a call from one of your senior, probably a project manager, project director, and he's asked you for something to be done immediately, like the gentleman before me, Mr. Vipin was saying, and is that the information that was given to you isn't the right information. So somebody has stripped off maybe a 20 centimeter platform, right? Is falling over, and somebody sends you a message or gave you a call.
Back home, we have a machine which can make it.
Yeah, even here.
Right. So that they discuss with you and say to you, there's somebody that's falling off over a 2 meter or 20 meter scaffolding. The panic sets into you, right? Straight away, you start to panic because the information that was given to you is the wrong information, right? So a lot of the time, what we tend to do is we panic, we're in shock, right? The stress level mounts up. How do you control that? How would you control that situation? One of the things we're going to talk about in the next slide, right? How we control those situations. We say we're fine because we don't like to open to people. Like I made mention earlier on, it's affected by your beliefs. It's affected by sometimes your masculinity as a man. It's affected by your culture because we were not brought up mostly as Africans, right, to be able to put forward your feelings. I was quite fortunate that I was able to put my feelings forward because I grew up outside of Nigeria. But there are times where, even still, I still couldn't put on some of my thoughts because my father would either give me a clap on the face or my mother would do the same thing, right? So why do we say we're fine? You're worried that the person asking the question may not know how to respond to it, truthfully. Another thing, you assume you're the only person experiencing that same feeling. Like Mr. Babajide said, everybody wants to achieve something, right? And right now, he's got something that he needs to achieve. I've got something that I need to achieve. I was meant to be on holiday somewhere right now and on the beach somewhere, but COVID-19 crept in, right? And it's affecting my plans. That's got me stressed. I know there are people on the call here that would have loved to probably go back to their country to see their loved ones who were not able to do that. That will heighten the stress as well, because those are things that we cannot control and things that just come up on us. And like I said earlier on, it's easier to say I'm fine because it's an option for you to block off sharing that information on how you really feel inside, right? So it's easier to explain how you really feel, or you say, it's not as easy, sorry. So to say how you really feel, it's not easy. So you just feel like, I'm fine, I'm okay. I'll get along with it. And one of the other things that we do is we say, we'll pray about it. Yeah, prayers, meditation is good, but sometimes the key thing is communication, talking, engaging with somebody to talk about it, voicing it out. And also, one of the things that, one of the reasons why I came across with this topic to the forum today is I've worked with a lot of I do a lot of mentoring across the world. And some of the guys I work with, mostly in the Western part of the world, so in America, in the UK, or across Europe, as like young Black folks, one of the things that we do not really discuss as Black people is mental health. Mental health doesn't mean like, because times I spent in Nigeria, when you see a madman is associated with mental health, right? So you say, oh, he's a madman, he's mental, right? So you expect him to take his clothes off or look haggard or look unkept, right? But not necessarily. If I could tell you that most people that struggle with mental health wear white collars to work. Unfortunately, one of our directors for one of the business I was looking after a few years back committed suicide. Believe you me, this gentleman made a lot of money. I've been on his yacht. I've been to his family home in the UK. He has money, happy family and everything else. Unfortunately, he was working away one time and he never made it home because he hung himself, he killed himself in the hotel room. So if somebody was to ask you, why would that somebody do that? Because there's been underlying issues with his mental state that nobody's picked up. There's probably some unadded pressure that is on him. It might not be financial pressure, it might not be status pressure, it might be work pressure, it might be a personal thing. So one of the things I brought this to everybody's awareness today is, as Black people, as Africans, it's cool to talk about mental health, right? Let's forget the stigma to it, right? It's not a bad thing to talk about. It doesn't mean that you're going to end up in, is it Aro they call it in Nigeria, right? You're not going to end up there. It's just cool to talk about it. And if I could throw the question to the room, how many times have you spoken to somebody and you've had what we call a rant, where you've had a session where you've just voiced out how you feel unapologetically to a friend of yours, right? And after the call, you feel a lot better, right? Or sometimes you say, I'll tell that person a piece of my mind, right? And you voice out, you tell them how you feel, and then straight after that, you feel calmer because you'll be able to voice that out, right? Because you're able to manage that, right? That's an element of mental stress, right? But it's not madness, it's just stress. And it's something that you were able to manage at that time, right? So we're going to go through 3 small things that you can do to reduce stress in the workplace, okay? I'm not going to read through this, I'll just go straight to the slide. One of the killers, one of the things that from studies that triggers instant mental stress is people being vague. Okay, so if I could just go on the screen and go on, who can I call on here? Mr. Anthony Okoloba. Can you put your mic on, please? How are you?
I'm fine.
I like your glasses. You're wearing similar glasses that I've got. Right.
Yeah.
So when I just called your name just then, how did you feel? Honestly.
I feel